It's a podcast. It's a podcast. A big podcast about Disney.
Welcome, princes and princesses, to our Disney season.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast.
We'd like you to be our guests as we show you a whole new world.
It's a podcast we're in.
Please remember, what we say in this episode might be a little risque, but you shouldn't take us that seriously. We're trying to take the mickey. You ain't ever had a pod like us, so sit back and enjoy the ride.
I tried really hard. Welcome everyone to season 3 of World Domination. We're back, baby.
We made it to season 3!
Yeah, Disney. Oh, hiya, kids. It's your boy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Jim Polo.
And I'm your host, Poseidon.
And I'm Athema.
Well done.
Woo!
Yeah.
We totally got that in one go, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
You guys are lucky. Future Jim in the edit is going to cut legitimately like 10 minutes of like name discussion out of that.
Woo!
So much.
Thanks, Jim.
Don't thank me. Thank Future Jim.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Future
Future
Jim.
Future Jim here. De nada. So today we're here to talk to you about the Disney movie Hercules.
Yes, Hercules.
Also known to the layman as Hercules.
So a couple pieces of follow-up, I think, before we get into the podcast proper. You know, best laid plans of mice and men and whatnot. Our plan to do something over the break to solve our tie from last season. We're still going to do something about that, and we'll keep you posted.
Or do we just give Emma the default?
Nah.
Look, it's definitely an option.
It is an option, yes, but much in the same way, heroin is always an option.
Look, heroin is... Look, it's not a great option, but it's an option.
Whoa.
Are you comparing yourself to heroin there, Emma, in the positive?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm ready to beat you fair and square, Ken.
And then the other piece of feedback, I guess, before we start is, and I guess just before we start talking about the movie, is we have heard what you guys have told us, either privately or reviews or however.
Hate letter written with your blood. We got it. We're sorry.
Yeah, that was weird.
That brick that got thrown through my window.
Do you want ants? Because that's how you'll get ants.
Throwing a brick through a window.
No, the blood.
Oh, yeah. We have heard you. We are going to spend a little bit less time getting bogged down in the plot of whatever we're talking about in this season. And we're going to spend more time focusing on the fun stuff that you actually came to listen to.
Woo.
So, what did everybody get up to over the break?
Pretty much worked most of it. Had a little bit of a break, but the top thing that happened, so for those of you fans who listened to the last season, you'll know how much I hated with a passion the movie Willow.
Lies.
But the one good thing that came out of that was the name Willow, which I have now bestowed upon my baby kitten.
Aww.
Yes.
Aw.
So I have a baby now. His name is Willow, and he is about 13 weeks now, and he's black and white, and he's gorgeous, and I love him.
Say something, Willow.
He's currently sleeping.
Oh, that's probably for the best. It was making a bit of noise earlier.
Yeah, he really was.
Well, on that note, everyone, during Christmas, I also got my own cat.
Oh, this was the best thing to happen to me, and it didn't even happen to me.
So we did a Secret Santa, and Emma, our lovely host over here,
Hello.
got me a cat girl pillow.
Yay!
Would you like to share with the listeners what you named your new wife, Ken?
Yes. So she's based on a character from Sword Art Online called Asuna. So her name, I've named her Katsuna.
Outstanding, Ken.
No, we do not sleep in the same bed. We're waiting till marriage.
Oh.
Wait, she's a pillow. How do you not sleep in the same bed as her?
Next question.
This. I have too many questions.
I also had a big milestone. I celebrated, well, not I. Myself and Liana celebrated our 10-year anniversary last week.
Oh!
Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Wow.
It's a long time.
And now I've permanently made an enemy of my spouse by saying that Ken's cat pillow was the best thing to happen to me this year.
Oh, yeah, she listens now. Oh, God.
Yeah,
no.
She listens now. I'm in trouble. So thank you for 10 years, sweetie.
Nice. Oh, speaking of gifts, as you may have noticed from the quality of my voice, I got a gift from one of our fans, Deanna. It is a blue snowball ice black.
Ooh,
Ooh, fancy.
Wonderful.
So fancy.
you sound really good, Ken.
Thank you.
By calling her a fan and saying that she got it for you because she's a fan, are you expecting all the rest of the listeners to send us gifts?
Yes.
God, I'm hoping they do. I want free shit.
Should I not disclose then that she was also part of this secret Santa?
You should not, no.
Okay, cool.
So if you want a honorable mention, then please give us free shit.
Send me shit and we'll talk about you.
Free things.
I'm open to sponsorships.
We're still waiting for Shrek Convention to come back to us.
Yeah, if you'd like possibly the smallest ad reach in all of podcasting, you send me an email.
And he may respond to you.
Seeing as it's a kind of a big milestone for Jesus' birthday, we thought it might be a good opportunity for us to talk about, a little bit of a retrospective on the past decade.
Woo!
Oh, God.
So first off, I gave you guys the challenge off air to come up with what is the thing that you think has taken over the world the most during the 2010s.
In terms of things that I think took over 2010 with the most gusto, I'm going to say the iPad.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay. Like all tablet computers or like just Apple's iPad?
Just Apple's iPad. Well, the iPad was introduced in 2010, and it's been going strong since.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's actually, yeah, you don't really see any other tablets anymore other than like Surfaces, but they're not really a tablet. They're more of a laptop.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one. That's true. Yeah.
And also, I would like to say that Jim does a lot of his creative work for this podcast on his iPad Pro.
I edited the whole last episode on my iPad on a flight.
Woo!
I was so impressed with myself.
We were too.
We were also impressed, Jim. Well done, past Jim.
Yep, so thank you, Apple, and thank you, Jim. So Apple, send us some iPads, please. Thank you.
Yep. Please do. I'll plug that shit as much as you want. So first off, I'd like to thank Liana for reminding me how strongly I feel about this, but the thing that I think has taken over the world the most in the 2010s, and I fucking hate it, is salted caramel.
Oh my god.
Salted caramel can eat a dick.
Oh, finally someone who agrees with me.
No,
Thank you,
there,
Ken.
there are some good salted caramels.
Ugh, salted caramel tastes like Willy Wonka's armpits.
Salted caramel is disgusting. It ruins caramel.
Yes!
Oh,
Look.
Finally. Everyone's talking about how great salted caramel is, and I'm just like, ooh.
Salt is good, caramel's good, put them together, fantastic. But I do agree there are certain ones that they don't quite hit the mark. I will give you that. That it's never as good as what you hope it's going to be.
No. Never once has salted caramel been what I am hoping it would be, which is basically a nicer caramel. It's never nicer.
It's never nicer. Like, there is so much hype, but it just never meets the expectation.
No, look, you're building it up too much then. That's on you. You leave salted caramel. Look, salted caramel isn't great, and I will never go for it if plain caramel. Like, if you're looking at a milkshake or something like that, I'll always go plain caramel.
But it's everywhere. Like, every, hipster place in the world has a salted caramel thing. I'm like, ugh!
Yeah, even though the lint balls and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do get you. I think I definitely agree. I feel like, especially there was a couple of years there where it was genuinely like every single place you went, you couldn't get away from it.
Still everywhere. I still haven't been able to shake fucking salted caramel.
Oh. It's easily one of my most controversial opinions that salted caramel is not great.
Yeah, so I'm expecting a whole bunch of feedback here. So
Yep.
I'll fight you on this one right now. I don't care.
I will support you.
Thanks, Ken.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the fence.
Like seriously, like salted caramel, like on a good day, it's beneath caramel, but on a bad day, it tastes like dirt. Like, it brings out all the bad flavors that I don't like.
Okay, Emma, what took over the world for you?
For me, I did a lot of research into this, but I think what I landed on that most stuck out to me was Netflix and streaming services. Fun fact, it's just received 24 Oscar nominations.
Ooh, damn.
Like I feel like in the last, Netflix and chill, all these types of things, like Netflix has really taken over the world.
Do you guys remember the time when Netflix's business model was they'd mail you DVDs?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Netflix existed when they were doing that.
I think I remember studying it when I was doing my master's, that they how they actually changed with the times.
Yeah, Netflix is one of the best like business management success stories.
100%.
And now they spend like $10 billion a year on content.
Woo, The Witcher.
Well, it's Henry Cavill.
Woo, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill has probably taken over my world in the last decade.
I mean, when he's not like your half hostage, half lover, yeah, then.
Is your cat on the keyboard again, Emma?
Yes, I'm really sorry. I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Oh.
He's here now.
Oh, so that's
Okay.
what those.
Sorry, I just saw the show notes document going crazy.
That's what it is.
Hold on.
The next retrospective thing I wanted us to talk about was the thing that we're happiest to see go now that the 2010s are over.
Yeah, look, I found this one really hard, so I've come up with a few things that I hope go. Otherwise, I will likely kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I feel like it won't, but like those stupid dances, like bloody flossing.
Oh, wow.
Or even,
Nah, man, they're hanging around.
no, I really don't want them to.
Are you familiar with the
Or-
game Fortnite?
Yeah, I was
I
about
am.
to say.
I am. No, look, mostly when I was thinking about it, I just thought of flossing then because I really hate it. But no, it was more around like, you remember when duck face was like a thing?
Oh, yeah.
I really want that to fucking be gone. I haven't seen it in a while. I honestly haven't seen it in a while, but I really want that to go.
The thing that I'm happiest to see go is robocalls. Like, you know those calls that you get from like a number that you don't know, and it's always just like a robot on the other end being like, "We'd like to talk to you about, the New South Wales government's solar energy rebate." There's a new feature in the new version of iOS that automatically sends calls from unknown numbers straight to voicemail, and it's the single greatest innovation of this decade.
Damn.
Oh,
But
it's
when
so
you say,
good.
but when you say unknown numbers, like if you've got somebody who's calling you that you don't actually have their number in there, they're just going to go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll leave you a voicemail
And
if they're
they
not
leave me a
sus.
voicemail, and then
That's
I can.
annoying. No, that's dumb.
No, it's great. It's my filter.
No, that's dumb. I get so many numbers of people calling me that I don't actually either have their number saved or have their number, and that's dumb.
Nah, I was getting like 5 robocalls a day. This is much better.
Oh, well, look, I don't think I ever got a robocall, so now it's just a pain for me because I'm very popular.
She is.
And have a lot of people calling me, so
They do.
mostly humans asking me whether I'm happy with my NBN, but
It's not for everyone. Like, it wouldn't work for those in, I don't know, like advertising or marketing sort of jobs, or jobs where you have to like call a whole bunch of different people. But for me, choice.
Woo.
yeah, like my job, for example, my work phone is an iPhone, and I get a lot of calls from line managers or people across the business who, of course, I don't have bloody like thousands of people's numbers saved in my phone. So that's going to be a pain in the butt because I hate calling people, but I'll answer a phone call.
Fair enough. All right, Kenneth, what's the thing you're happiest to see go?
Oh, there's two things. One that I'm happy for other people, the other I'm happy for myself. So the one that I'm happy for other people is that I'm hoping they've stopped, but I think people have stopped eating Tide Pods.
Well, if they haven't by now, they will shortly.
Well, I feel like those that had, they're dead.
Exactly. That's the joke, Emma.
Anyway, stop eating Tide Pods, kids. The next thing is, I even if it hasn't stopped, I really hope it does, is people dressing up as clowns and then running in front of people's cars.
Oh, remember when that was a thing?
Oh, it's such a bad thing. Do not bring it back.
Oh, man. 2010s were a weird time.
They really
Oh
were.
my God.
Do you remember when like planking was a thing?
Remember when people
yeah.
like lost their jobs for planking?
Yeah. Or when like
It was featured in an Office episode. I was like, what?
yeah, or parkour. I mean, I feel like parkour is still definitely a thing, but it's definitely not the craze that it
Yeah,
used to
the
be.
thing about parkour is that it's not accessible to your average person, whereas like lying down and propping yourself up on your like elbows and feet is definitely like accessible to the layperson.
Yes.
It's so dumb. So now that preamble is over, I suppose we should talk about the movie. So, what did you two think of Hercules?
Hercules.
Hercules.
I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and I really enjoyed it. I actually really liked rewatching it. There's definitely a couple of slow points where I was like, oh, come on. But overall, like, yeah, no, I really liked it. And I think as an adult, you pick up so many, like, little things in it that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Can I paint a word picture for you?
You sure can.
So imagine it's the mid-90s. You're in a workshop room with the writers of this movie. And one of them looks at the other and goes, how are we going to convey that this is basically like a religious story? And the other one goes, oh, I've got it, bro. Gospel music.
Best intro to a freaking movie ever. I love when they sing to me what's happened.
Yeah, that was very entertaining.
Yeah, it's great.
It works, but it shouldn't.
But it does. Just accept it, Jim. Go with it.
For a second, I was like, oh, so this is what Greek music is like. And then I was like, wait a minute, no.
So, yeah, I should say that this is one of Liana's favorite Disney movies. I don't know if it's her like actual favorite. I think she'd say that would be Beauty and the Beast. But yeah, Liana really likes this movie. I hadn't actually seen it until like 5 years into our relationship, I don't think.
Oh, really? You didn't watch it growing
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, you know, it's one of the better Disney movies, I'd say. Like of that era. Like it's no Lion King.
Oh, yeah, look, Lion King's definitely up there. But I feel like Hercules is up there.
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there.
I really liked it. I think this was the first time I watched it like from start to end properly, and you know, I like it a lot more than I remember. So yeah, no, it's a good experience.
Yeah, I know, like from reading like a tiny bit about this movie, I know that they had like some trouble dealing with like the original source material.
Yeah.
So like they didn't talk anything about like Zeus's infidelities in the movie, which is, you know, if you know anything about Zeus, is a pretty major point of his character.
No, in this one, he's just like a loving husband and father.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, Rip Torn just has the most amazing voice. Can you imagine him, like, talking about, like, his infidelities?
Your mother was a cow.
Yes. I turned your mother into a cow, and then I had my way with her.
Yeah. Didn't he actually had his way with, like, a goose or something, didn't he? There was something there.
He used to disguise himself as a goose to, like, perv on women.
Yeah. Well, why? Okay. Oh, look at that sexy goose over there.
Oh, my God.
Waddle on over.
I think just to briefly cover up on the plot, it's a kind of mishmash of a whole lot of different things. Like they said that they were going for a superhero movie when they were making this, and that kind of shows where they don't really talk. Like the fun thing about Greek gods is that they're like munted and they do like human shit. Like they're not infallible. But like this story kind of skips over a whole bunch of that and just focuses on like a traditional like hero story. So like Hercules is stolen from Mount Olympus because in this version of the story, he's the son of Zeus and Hera. And Hera is Zeus's sister.
Cool.
Yeah, while in the original Greek mythology, Hercules' mother is a human princess.
Yeah.
So he's half human.
Yeah. Well, in the original mythology. In this, he's a god who's turned into a human. Hades, king of the underworld, gets a prophecy that his world domination plan will fail if Hercules fights. So he steals the baby, turns him into a semi-mortal, but the baby escapes, ends up on Earth, lives to fight another day. And then, you know, the traditional, like, hero must overcome evil story. But I think we should talk more about Hades' plan.
Yes.
So I think his plan is to let loose the Titans.
Yeah, he wants to take over Mount Olympus. So
is that his entire plan? Just to let the Titans out?
He was using the Titans to help overcome and get control of Mount Olympus. So essentially the plan overall was to get control of Mount Olympus, and by way of doing that was unleashing the Titans that Zeus had put away.
Yeah. So fun fact, the Titans are also Zeus's aunts and uncles.
Ah, yes.
What a family, right?
I know,
thought
right?
My family was weird. But yeah, so I mean, that was his overall plan. So I know that those three, what are those three ladies? They were the
Fates.
The Fates, yeah.
Yes.
So they basically said that he, in 18 years to the day when the moons align, that's the only day that's the day where his plan's going to come into fruition. So he's basically got freaking 18 years to conjure up a plan, and he still doesn't do it.
And his plan is
Unleash the Titans.
Let this guy's uncle out of prison.
Yeah, so he's basically just like, oh, hey, cool, I've already come up with my plan, so I'll just do it in 17 years and like 11 months or whatever, and then I'll start getting plans together.
So does that mean Hercules is 18?
Yeah, so he's, look, probably 19, because he was a baby and you would look at the picture, like the size of him and the fact that he was kind of moving about and whatever.
He's also a god, Emma.
Ken, it's a Disney film, and I'm putting it together that I would say he's about 18 and a half, 19 when this takes place.
Okay.
And he is ripped as...
I mean, he's a cartoon, so like... He doesn't get any points for being ripped as a cartoon.
I don't know, Jim. He's still more ripped than
He
you.
was very skinny, and then he got trained up.
He worked out really hard, all right? With that little...
So he deserves the
Danny
praise.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
But I guess, so what do you guys think of his plan?
His plan is very flimsy. His plan is basically to open a door and point. That's his plan. Open a door and point and say Mount Olympus is that way.
There's so many ways it could fail. I love when they get unleashed too, and he's like, and we'll freeze him. It's like, all right, mate, settle down. I think I get where he was going, and if it had been a quick plan, yep, sure. But you had 18 years to plot this, and you'd obviously been pretty angry for years prior to this because you'd been placed in the underworld. Like, come up with something better.
Yeah, it's pretty weak, bro.
Like, you can create monsters. Why are you not creating over 18 years like the fucking greatest monster that's ever lived?
Yeah, and like in the mythology, Hades' whole deal is he makes bargains with people. Like, he's very cunning.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not to say that James Woods doesn't do a really good performance. I really like him as Hades. He plays him as like a really, I don't know, it kind of fits for the time it was made.
Yeah, I think I remember reading that initially when they had created the role of Hades, he was meant to be a kind of soft-spoken, slow, kind of real villain kind of thing. But then when James Woods read for it, they were like, nah, so they changed it for him.
Yeah. Like, John Lithgow was originally chosen to play Hades, and I imagined Lord Farquaad's voice doing this character.
Really?
Like, I can picture that, but it wouldn't be as cool.
No.
Like, I feel like John Lithgow is better at playing, like, more pompous characters than he is at playing, like, conniving characters.
Yeah. And I think as well because it just would have been odd. Yeah, nah, it would have been odd. No.
Yeah. So, you know the scene right at the end of the movie where Hercules, like, picks up the Titans and throws them into space?
Yeah.
That is... I really hope that's a homage to another Hercules movie. So there's a link right at the bottom of the show notes that's labelled, Ken and Emma, do not click this until I tell you to. Now is the time.
Click.
Do you guys know who Lou Ferrigno is?
Yes.
I do not.
Lou Ferrigno was the guy that played the Incredible Hulk in like the TV series from the 80s.
Yeah.
He's like a muscle man. And he played a live action version of the movie of Hercules in 1983. And this is him fighting a bear. Now, this is a boy I'll give credit for being ripped to. Just look at him.
What is this?
Whoa.
Looks like he just fought a hay barrel.
Wait. Ready?
Wait. Is that just him? With what?
Oh my god! It created a constellation and then...
Oh my god. Oh!
I love the layover of the bear roaring.
I know.
Oh my god.
So I really hope that that's the scene in like the animated movie is like an homage to that. Because
Let's just say it is
perfect.
because that makes my day. That's it.
And really, if you were that strong, why wouldn't you throw a bear into space?
I mean...
Wait, so did I watch the wrong Hercules movie or...
Oh, we all definitely watched the wrong Hercules movie. Look at that beefcake. Look at that big boy.
So, what do you guys rate his plan then?
I don't know. Like, it seemed like it would have a decent chance of succeeding. The thing that annoys me about this movie is that, you know, they say that the Olympians will fail if Hercules doesn't fight. Mm. And so, like, when the Titans originally show up, they just kind of overwhelm the Olympians very easily, and none of them, like, can really put up much of a fight.
Yeah.
And then all that happens is Hercules shows up frees Zeus, who was doing pretty much all the fighting before, and then they win the battle? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, look, no,
Feels
I
like
get
he-
you. I get you.
Yeah.
It's probably because they've all like been sitting there doing nothing for so many years that it's just like, oh shit, how do I fight? How do I do things?
Yeah.
But no, I do agree. I think yeah.
But I don't know. It's not the worst plan. I don't know. It's hard to, conquer gods.
Yeah, I rate him as a pretty good villain though, because to be like, if you think about it, he came up with a plan. He bought insurance. He asked the fates to tell him, "Oh, will everything work out?" And then he actioned to that.
Yeah.
He did take care of Hercules, and then when even after he found out that his subordinates didn't actually kill him, he went and tried to take him out further, and even at the end, on the last day, he made a deal with him that would have stopped him.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think he covered all grounds. I think he's a great villain in that aspect.
Yeah. And like, that brings up a good point that, like, he would have won had it not been for contractual law. Like, there's that bit where he says, your strength won't return unless Meg is harmed. And then Meg just happens to be harmed. And he's like, I don't think you really thought that sentence through when you said that.
Yeah.
If our contractual law and stuff tickles your fancy, please go to our Shrek episode from last season.
I think what annoyed me was that he had 18 years to really make sure it was foolproof. But I think as well, like, the biggest mistake, and I think we all agree on this, is that Pain and Panic are fucking useless.
Yeah.
Why he would just go with their word and not request any kind of proof that Hercules was dead. So I do get that if Hercules had been dead, his plan was fine. Like, he didn't need anything more than what it was. So he did the best with what he had in terms of things coming out of the blue.
Yeah. I don't know. I give him a 7.
Yeah, I give him an 8.
Ooh, damn.
I really like Hades.
Huh. Yeah, I give him an 8 as well.
Yeah, he's pretty dope, and I think it's the personality and all that as well. The sass factor. There's definitely a couple of points in there for the sass factor.
I mean, I think it was fun watching him win and also fun watching him lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you guys want some fun facts?
Ooh,
Oh,
yes,
I
please.
do. I have fun facts too because they're my favorite thing in the world.
All right, go, Emma.
So, fun facts. Did you know that the Spice Girls were considered for the part of the Muses?
Ooh.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Ooh.
Can you imagine Spice Girls doing gospel music?
I was just saying, it probably wouldn't be gospel music. Can you imagine that?
And ain't that the gospel truth?
So during production, the animators, they wore out 72,000 pencils and used 1 million sheets of animation paper.
Whew.
Damn.
Can you imagine that happening today? Bloody everybody would be raging.
Nah, I'll just do it on my pooter.
Exactly.
Or your iPad.
My pooter.
Well, I know this was one of the early movies where they like mixed computer imagery with like traditional animation.
Yeah.
So like the Hydra is computer animated.
Yeah, and it took them hours to do it too.
Yeah.
All right, so fun facts. Back to fun facts. So we were talking about movies and that sort of thing. So this one, which I actually found was quite interesting to know, that this was made as a response to, there was a lot of criticism around, because Pocahontas and the Hunchback of Notre Dame had come out not that long before this. Mm-hmm. And those were deemed too adult.
So they wanted to do a movie about Zeus's love child.
No, but this one, this one was made as a comedy to kind of make it a little bit lighter. So yeah, look, as children, if you're watching it, you're just seeing the funny and the bright colours and all that kind of thing. If you compare that to Hunchback and Pocahontas, totally different. But yeah, if you're watching it as an adult, you're like, oh. Because, for example, you know in the scene where Meg is walking through the garden and she's singing that song, I Won't Admit That She's in Love?
Yeah.
The garden that she's actually walking through is
one,
filled with statues that are depicting different scenes of different versions of rape in Greek mythology.
Oh, I did not pick up on that.
Like, hectic. You rewatch that. Like, it's intense.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome. Like, that'll change Hercules forever for you.
Okay.
Another good one, which I actually really kind of want to watch this version just to witness it, is that Ricky Martin is the voice of Hercules in the Spanish version.
Is he really? Yeah. I thought he just did the song.
No, apparently he's
Oh, that's
the
amazing. I really want to watch that now.
Oh, I really do too. And the last little fun fact that I've got here is that originally when they were doing it, Meg had blue eyes, but before they finished up the animation part of it, they changed them to purple. So one of Phil's lines had said something about blue eyes, and they had to change it to goo goo eyes.
Aww.
Yes, because obviously back then it was a bit hard to change the whole bloody animation of it, so they're like, oh, what kind
Yeah,
of
they
looks
couldn't
like
just do
blue
a find
eyes?
and replace.
They're like, oh, yeah. So they're my fun facts.
Nice.
You're welcome.
So I'll go through like air quotes real life story, and then I'll go through some like other fun facts. This is the single greatest sentence I ever read. Danny DeVito was originally considered for the role of Phil, but he was quite busy at the time, and he initially refused the role. And here's the part that is the single greatest sentence ever. They cornered him at a pasta lunch, and he signed on to the movie.
So all they had to do was feed him.
Yes.
Oh my god. Nice.
What's my other fun facts?
Would you like to talk about how Hercules is the only Roman name?
Ugh. It annoys me so much that they use like all of the Greek character names, so like Zeus and Hera and Hades, but then Heracles is called Hercules, which is the Roman name. Like, ugh.
Because it flows better.
I don't know.
As like the mainstream bitch that I am, Hercules is easier to say and it just flows better.
Oh, so some fun facts from the mythology. So the word galaxy comes from the Greek word for milk, which is where we also get the phrase Milky Way from.
Ooh.
And in the legends, Hercules was brought to Zeus's wife Hera to breastfeed, even though Heracles wasn't her son.
So she was basically breastfeeding her nephew.
She was breastfeeding him, even though she isn't his biological mother.
Yeah.
In the story, at least.
But her nephew, yeah.
No. Like, Heracles is Zeus's son
Yeah.
with a mortal woman in the story.
Yeah. Yeah, so Hera is still Zeus's sister though, right?
Yes, but also
it's
his wife.
Sister wife.
So so she was still married to him.
Yes.
Okay, right. That's what I was trying to. Okay.
Heracles.
So
Oh, why did they name Heracles after Hera then?
it was to like appease her. So he had a different name, and they renamed him Heracles to kind of make her feel more fondly towards the boy, and it didn't work, and she spent most of his life trying to kill him.
Classic stepmom.
But before all of this happened, she was breastfeeding him, and apparently he sucked on that titty so hard that when she pushed him off, he like sprayed milk all across the sky, and that's where we get the Milky Way from in the
fuck
story.
Jesus.
right off.
That is a
How
messed
high
up.
were these Greek people when they came up with this? The answer's very high.
But that's where we get the phrase Milky Way.
Interesting.
That was weird. Thanks, Jim.
Anytime. All right, should we get on to our plans?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, everyone sit back.
Enjoy this ride. So I feel like I need to start this off by saying my 3 main pain points to this plan, right?
Is that a pun?
Ha!
Sure.
Nice.
So make pain and panic show you the body. Like how fucking, like there has to be some sort of, like they're so useless. Why are you trusting them? Anyway, we're on to that. The second one, right, is those monsters that he kept sending to try and beat Hercules. Mm-hmm. They only kept making him more and more confident. They're clearly not good enough. Stop fucking sending them. Like that, it kept annoying me. Like he's like, "Oh, look how great I am," and everybody started loving him. Well, maybe stop sending them, and then he won't be able to train more. You know, in a real life situation. Let's try and make him the least bit amount of confident as we can.
Yeah.
So that annoyed me.
What's funny is like in the original stories, like there's all of these times where somebody's like, "I want you to go and slay this beast for me," as like to prove your worth, and like the guy's like, "Ha, that'll show him that monster's gonna wipe the floor with him," and he comes back in like 30 seconds with the monster's head, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it. What do you want next?"
100%. But it's just like he just kept sending more and more, and it's like, are you not seeing that he's just getting better and better? Like if he's going to be versing the Titans, you want him as unprepared as he can be.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, so that's part of, I guess, what my plan is that don't fucking send those. But number 3, right? So with Meg, He is basically sending this lonely, romantic woman off to go hang out with Hercules. And like, who is a nice guy, and he's ripped as cartoon or whatever. He's ripped as. To put that in
I
the real
don't begrudge her for falling in love with a cartoon. I mean, she's a cartoon.
No, but I know, but like to put this in a real world
That
context,
sounded awfully
right?
racist of me, and I don't know why.
Racism
To put this in a real world context, right? For our listeners, this is basically like sending me to go hang out with Henry Cavill and expecting me not to put out. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I feel like that's a bad example because,
Yeah,
like,
that's a very bad example.
What do you mean?
that's a bad example because, like,
You're already in love with Henry Cavill.
you need to,
Yeah,
like,
but that's the thing. He was very clear that she was already in love with Hercules when he sent her to go spend more time with him.
You're saying he shouldn't have sent her back again.
He shouldn't have sent her back.
I see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was
Fair.
already in love with him after she spent that time with him and said, I'm not going to, do whatever. And then he sends her back again, right? Like, don't do that. Don't let them be together. So, anyway, my real world example does match, all right? So, fuck both of you. So,
No, we're just saying, like,
what, Jim? You were saying what?
there's no way you'd be able to, like, resist that.
Exactly.
It's plausible that Meg could have resisted her urges. We both know that there's no way you could resist that urge.
Correct.
All right. Well, who would have been better for me to say then rather than Henry?
I don't know. Who's like, what about Lou Ferrigno?
No, gross. Like, definitely no. But she was already into him. He's an attractive, strong, lovely gentleman who's a bit of a hero. Like, it just don't. Yeah. Anyway, so the plan essentially with those three things in mind is that, well, one, don't send monsters. Like, keep sending them because it's only making him more confident. But essentially, you still use Meg, but take her far away, put her in, so say it's like 2 days worth of travel or whatever it may be, put her in some monster guarded tower, like your Shrek style, and then get Pain and Panic to turn into somebody that Hercules trusts to kind of give him the news that she's somehow been taken away and where she is, where Hades has put her or whatever. But they would tell him essentially like the day before these moons align. So I'm working with the thing that, he still has to do it on that one day. Tell him the day before the moons align. He'll be gone on that journey for 2 days or whatever. Even if he's flying on Pegasus, it's still going to be a distance away. He's not going to get back really quick. He'll be on a journey of love, and he will miss that 24-hour window where he needs to join that fight. And because he's not aware of that fight upcoming, he doesn't know about it.
Ooh.
Done. Solved.
So you've gone with the, but my mother lives in Hackensack, New Jersey approach to villain plan designs.
Pretty much.
I have no idea what that means.
So there's a scene in the original Superman movie where Lex Luthor sets off 2 nuclear missiles, with the idea being Superman can't possibly be in 2 places at the same time.
But I feel like Superman probably could. He could definitely get both.
And he does in the end.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's what I mean.
spoilers.
It's a almost 50-year-old movie. Like,
Okay, that's okay. I'll forgive you this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of Lex's henchmen's mother lives in Hackensack, New Jersey, and so she says like, "I'll let you go, Superman, if you promise to save my mother first."
Yeah, but I think that's so pretty much the same thing. But the difference is that he is not aware of the attack on Mount Olympus
Yeah,
because how would he know if he wasn't there?
yeah.
Yep.
Because like Hades makes it pretty clear. Like he rocks, like when he makes that deal, he rocks up and he's like, "I'm going to make a deal with you. I'm about to take over the world. Can you go and sit over there for 20 minutes?"
Seriously, right?
And he's like, "What's that about taking over the world?"
Sorry. Why is it the next 24 hours? Like, why is tomorrow? Like, why tomorrow?
Going once.
Like, what's going on?
Going twice.
What's the haps?
Sold.
Oh, it's so dumb. Like, I love Hades, but like the dumb villain speech of telling them exactly what you're about to bloody do. Stop doing it.
His character design is just so fun as well. Like the
Yeah.
flames being the hair. It's
yeah.
like the way that they use that.
Did my hair go out?
The way they use that to like express his emotions is just really cool.
Yeah.
And like that's a really good idea.
Yeah. One of the other fun things that I hadn't noticed any other time that I've watched this movie, but at the end when Hades is in the soul pool or whatever you want to call it, they're like attacking
well
him.
Of souls.
Yeah, he screams out, "Taxi!"
Taxi.
And I thought that was great. But yes, that's my plan.
Nice.
So my plan, I don't know if people will say this is a cop-out, but I'm basically going to like take a leaf out of the old Greek mythology books.
Nerd.
The idea is that if Hercules fights, the Olympians will be victorious. So my idea is to like basically drive a wedge between the Olympians and Hercules, so he's not interested in fighting for them. Mm-hmm. And the idea I have to do that is to basically convince the rest of the gods that he's one of Zeus's illegitimate children, because Zeus had a lot of illegitimate children, and it kind of fits. So they don't really know what happened to Hercules after he was taken from Mount Olympus. You can just say that like, oh, he's in the bowels of Hades. Hades is also the name of the place. He's in the bowels of Hades, toiling away, whatever, doesn't matter. But they have no reason to assume that he is, that how Hercules is made semi-mortal. They have no reason to assume that the baby that was taken from Olympus would now be semi-mortal, but that does fit if he's an illegitimate child of Zeus with a mortal. So basically, it's very easy to convince them that is the case. And if they have any doubts, I can just wheel out Meg and say, and she's his mother. Because the gods have a very weak understanding of how age works.
Right. So essentially that there's two babies and this one just also happens.
This one's just
Hercules.
also, like, Zeus had a lot of illegitimate children.
Yeah, but I feel, look,
Not the Zeus I know.
I feel like, look, it's a good plan and it makes sense, but I feel like if we're in the Disney realm, that ain't gonna happen.
You're
because
right.
there's no way, which is why they steered very far away of the real Zeus and made him the loving husband and father that he was.
So does this, I know Hercules would get disowned based on your plan, but how would that stop him from fighting at Mount Olympus?
Well, Hera has a vendetta against all of Zeus's illegitimate children, basically. She hates them because she has this idea that, she's the wife of the greatest god, and therefore, that means he's infallible. And so she sees any, illegitimate child as evidence that her marriage isn't perfect.
You married your brother, mate. It's not perfect.
So the idea is that, Hera will be furious with this child, angry with this child, and all of the other gods will try and steer away from him in deference to Hera because she is crazy.
Ooh, not the Hera I know. No, just
and he will feel rejected and not want to fight for them.
Okay,
that's my plan.
Yeah, look, I get it. But what if, right, he knows the true story or whatever because he's obviously spoken to... Oh, are we assuming that Zeus has still come to him and spoken to him? Yeah, so he's still aware. Is he not then going to want to be
and what about Athena? And what about Apollo and Artemis and all of your other illegitimate children? There are more illegitimate children of Zeus than there are legitimate children.
Okay, I dig it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, I dig it in the real world sense, but
enough.
not the Disney.
So my turn, my plan.
But I think it's good.
My plan is hinged on... So it's based on a comedic moment within the movie where as soon as Hades releases the Titans, they all come out and then they start raging on about how they take out Zeus. And they end up going in the wrong direction towards town instead of Mount Olympus. I say Hades should just let them keep going.
Ooh.
He had the foresight to send the Cyclops to take care of Hercules. Mm-hmm. I think he should have sent them all to take care of Hercules. Yeah, because for all the planets and moons to line up...
Yeah.
That's only to open the portal to the Titans. Mm-hmm. Meaning, as soon as they're out, it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. It's not like at the end of the 24 hours, they all get sent back. So they will still be here afterwards.
Plus, I imagine the other half of the plan is that the Olympic gods also then leave Olympus and you sneak in and claim squatters' rights.
Exactly. Whoa, actually, I did not think that far, but yes, another point.
Yes, this plan wins simply because of squatters' rights. I think that's a good plan because you just distract him for the 24 hours if that's, the least. Otherwise, you kill him because he's basically
So if
lost
they
his
can take
powers.
care of, because even in the fight scene at Mount Olympus, Hercules wasn't like that much of a help. There was some crucial moments, but he wasn't like strong enough to take care of all the Titans. So if the Titans took care of Hercules, Hades can take his time to take out Mount Olympus. In addition to just taking out Hercules, as the god of the underworld, if everyone in town dies, then he gets more people to rule over. Therefore, in a way, he's taking over, just not just
winning.
Mount Olympus. He's taking over like the whole world and the underworld. And that is my plan.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I like that plan.
I like
'cause,
that.
Like, there's
I think that's it, yeah.
like a theme in the Greek mythology that the earlier the gods are, the more powerful they are. So like the Titans, who are like Zeus's father and aunts and uncles, are like more powerful than him, but he just beat them through cunning. Ooh. Hercules' great grandparent was literally chaos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What I think Zeus's dad is the god of time.
Yes.
Yes, so he can tell exactly like how things would turn out. That's why he swallowed like 5 of his children.
Yes.
Yes.
I have to tell this story. So, Zeus's father Kronos was given a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, which, spoiler alert, came out to be true. So,
What?
as they
But
were
who
being
was
born,
it, Jim?
he ate all of his children. As soon as they were born, he ate them so that they couldn't overthrow him. But Zeus's mother, once Zeus was born, she gave Kronos a rock and pretended it was Zeus, and he ate it so quickly he didn't notice. And then Kronos did very much the same thing to his father. So Kronos' father was what the plebeians call Uranus. Uranus was given a prophecy that one of his sons would overthrow him, and so he hid all of his children inside a cave inside their mother, which also happened to be the Earth. Anyway, and Kronos fashioned a scythe out of some metal, and one day, as his dad was making love to their mother, who also happened to be the Earth, he reached out and lopped his dad's balls off.
Jeez. Oh, is one of those like Hephaestus?
No, one of them is...
wrong ball.
So one of the balls landed in the ocean and turned into Aphrodite.
Ah. Yep.
Greek...
Interesting.
Isn't Greek mythology fun?
So much fun.
It really is. I used to love learning about it. I haven't
Yeah.
remembered enough about it, but I do love it.
Thanks, Disney, for this educational experience.
Yeah, thanks Disney for ruining Greek mythology for me. I want to hear about the testicle
testicles.
mutilation. Oh man,
That's
can you
in
imagine?
Hercules
Oh my
2.0.
Can you imagine like a castration in a Disney movie? So, is there any more to your plan, Ken?
Oh, God.
No, that's it.
Sorry, I kind of stole your thunder there.
Nah, all good. Made my plan better.
All right, so should we come to a vote?
Yes.
All right, so
Yes.
on 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ken.
Emma.
Ken.
Yay!
Well done, Ken.
Woo! From 0 to hero.
Ain't that the gospel truth?
Woo!
Well done, Ken.
Thank you.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank in your victory speech?
I would like to thank Phil.
That's Phil's boy.
I should thank my muse. and everyone on this podcast.
Aw.
Oh, my newspaper headline for my plan is Titanic Panic.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We hate this weather.
Oh, gold star, Ken.
Yay!
Oh, I hate you. I hate you.
Well done, Ken.
Woo! Thank you.
Congratulations, Kenneth.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for playing.
Woo! Thanks for playing.
That's 1 point to Ken.
Woo!
I'll get you, Kenneth. well, congratulations, Ken.
Woo!
Oh,
Thank you,
boy.
Mickey.
Did a fantastic job.
I think that's all from us tonight, wouldn't you say?
Please, yes. Clearly, after that, I think it's very obvious. That I hit my.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. It's been a pleasure having you all in my living room.
You're not in your living room, Jim. Don't lie to the people.
No, having the listeners in my living room.
Yeah, but
It's been a pleasure.
why are they in your living room?
I don't know. Go with the metaphor.
Thank you for allowing us into your ear holes.
Come inside. Share the spell.
Thanks, friends.
Join us next time as we will be talking about The Lion King.
Woo!
I just can't wait to be king.
I have some bad news for you there, Emma.
It's 2020, Jim. It's going to be great, and I am very excited to watch The Lion King again.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fantastic film, and we shall talk about it next time.
Yep. Thank you very much for listening.
See you then.
Yeah, see you then.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to World Domination. You can find links to all the things we talked about, our other episodes, our social media handles, and our contact information at anchor.fm/worlddomination. If you want to tell us something, feel free to get in touch. And remember, if you like the show, make sure to tell your mum about it.
Do you want to build a podcast?
It doesn't have to be a podcast.
Go away, Emma and Jim.
Okay, bye.